What's going on, fellow space cadets? How are y'all doing out there today? I'm sure you heard enough about all the war talk and all that good stuff. So we're going to depart from that a little bit, hop in our spaceship, blast off, and we are headed to the moon because we're over here looking at Luna. And if you're looking at this chart, yes, this is the 1 hour chart. And if you've been looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum and everything like that, you may notice a little difference. Like that kind of difference. Like Ethereum and Bitcoin been going down, 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 dropping it to the floor. But we come back over here to Luna, and look at this. We just been, it came down a little bit, but we're basically just holding steady, holding these levels right in here. Just, kicking it, chilling, just a little up and down action, and then boom, pull back a little bit with everybody else, and then bam, smashing the charts, running through them numbers. And not only that, I mean, look at this last one, 30%er. Come over here, do this one to the peak, which I normally don't do, 32%er. Ew, looking lovely. Looking lovely. Not only that, yeah, that was my original buy price. Exceedingly happy with that one right there. One of them few ones that, you feel good you actually kind of got in early a little bit. So obviously loving Luna, but not only Luna. We come back, we got Atom's been doing all right today. Now this one on the 1 hour generally looks like everybody else, except this little 13er right there, followed by a 15 today. But come down on the 10-minute. Now obviously everybody's kind of rolling over at the moment, but yeah, this guy was doing pretty decent today. Look at Ethereum. You had this big pump, which it didn't have, but it's just kind of slow and steady going up. And not too long ago over here, pretty much everything was in the red, but when I came down here, Atom was actually holding pretty strong until, just started taking this dip. But Luna, man, look at that. That's sexy right there. Who doesn't like to see that? Then we got some other ones that were doing all right, like Phantom basically went sideways. Let's see. VeChain same, Solana same, ADA same. And Dot had a little bit more upward to it. Litecoin sideways. Ethereum Classic. Now this one, I'm going to switch to the regular. You can see it just had a little bit more peaks to it. Kind of hung out a little bit where this one started angling down, but not terribly different. Bitcoin, again, same thing, but actually better than most of the pack. But since we're on the Bitcoin chart, I want to point something out real quick. Now, just to be fair, I have not moved this. I haven't touched any of these lines or indicators or anything since the previous video where, if you'll recall, if you watched it, if you didn't watch it, come on, man. You think I am Joe Biden? You want to watch this one. But you'll notice I was saying that I thought we were going to come up here in this corner between this arc and this trend line. And would you look at that? I mean, damn near cut right through the middle of it. Right on the money. Right on the money flow. And we did break through this one pretty hard, but that one's never really been all that strong. And we are finally coming over to this first little ring right here, approaching the final ring world. If you never read that book, oh man, you are missing out if you like sci-fi. But so that was Bitcoin. That's what's going on. And we just kind of bounced off this trend line a little bit. Everything was kind of pumping, but we did find some resistance at this one before we came back around and pushed through. And then, of course, we were just going sky high. But didn't quite make that one. Pop over to Ethereum real quick, because I know you want to see it. You can see we did find support right there at this support resistance box that we had drawn previously, and we found resistance the first time before we came back up and around. You know, we're finding a little bit of resistance down here off of that golden pocket before we push down through. And, you know, we got the fib retracement, which we came kind of close to up here. Just hitting around the top up here before... And really, shoot, I should extend it over. We still never really got beyond the top of that one. What is that? That is the one you can't even read. I think that's the 20%-ish range. But yeah, so now we're coming back and we're coming down this this angle over here on the GAN box. See where we go. Nobody knows, but I bet you it'll be fun either way, because that's why we're traders. We don't care if it's going up or down or zigzag or turning back in on itself. Although if it did that, that means we're going back in time. And if we did that, I know what I'd be betting on. But back to Luna here. So I haven't done anything with this chart. Matter of fact, I haven't done anything with any of the charts since this morning. So I figured, you know what? I want to see where it's going, what it's looking like. So we're going to do it live right now on the video. And we'll look at it together. Aw, isn't that cute? So looking first thing, the money flow is coming back down a little bit. So, you know, long pump, solid chance that we start pulling back a little bit. Maybe not, you know, that arrow is kind of exaggerated, just to be clear. But look at this. Look at that RSI. Staying nice and tight the entire time, just riding along that top. It's a beautiful thing. Matter of fact, come back on the 1 hour. Look at this. Just stays tight the entire time. That is a thing of beauty right there. Money flow still holding a nice, reasonably high level considering how low money flows have been lately. Now again, you know, we're back up at the top here. We did get a little red diamond increasing on the bearish side up here. Got the VWAP cross with the red dot. And we just literally came right to that 60 level on the momentum wave. Got rejected, which, since we have higher highs, that makes this a lower high down here. Again, fairly indicative of at least some kind of a drawback. Let's go see. Plus, you know, just coming below zero now, so I would expect at least a couple hours of red candles. I mean, at the best sideways, but if you look, you know, aside from, even this was still kind of down. This one was a little bit sideways. That one was a little bit sideways, but generally speaking, you know, when we've been coming below the zero, we've been getting down moves. Be nice to get a little small little sucker like that again, but you know, the last time we did have a very decent size pullback. Granted, that's when everything was going to hell, but I'm kind of hoping this you know, this comes out as a wee little lad right there. But coming back, let's go to the 15. Let's watch on the 15. So okay, pulling down a little bit. VWAP been down at the bottom for a little bit. RSI, you know, kind of arcing down, but, and this is a little preemptive here, they are starting to split a little bit. And if you I don't know, the one time you want to see them starting to split is as it's heading to the downside, because that means it is a little bit weaker bear pressure, as opposed to, say, like up here where we got this big momentum wave and a decent little pump, but you know, it was weak on its way up, but then started coming back together, gained strength, flipped to the red, hung out up in the penthouse suite up here at the top, And away we went. Look at that money flow. That is nice. But let's see what else we got going on. So that's the view from Market Cipher B there. Obviously, we can see the DBSI up here is, you know, weakening a little bit on the bearish side, which is kind of nice. Went from -50 to 1 on the bullish side. Lends a little bit more credence to the thought that we may start coming back up here on the VWAP. Would be nice indeed. Let's see. You know, I'm going to come up to, there's really not even a good time frame for doing a fib. Because, like, you know, trying to go to the previous one, we're already above it. Although, if we do pull back, it could kind of give us an idea of where we may pull back to. I'd almost be more inclined to do something like that. Just a blank slate over here for it to do its little thing in. Dude, I gotta change this color. That's just ridiculous. What is that? 236. All right, there we go. Can't even read the damn thing. All right, so you know what? This would be too. This would be a reasonable pullback right here. But this guy, you know, here we are getting that bearish divergence. Not something we like, unless you're trying to short. In that case, you might like it quite a bit. But one thing to keep in mind, if you are looking for a short, really, I don't want to like yell at her to stop, because then I'm gonna yell right into the microphone. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. Yeah. You know, you live in a wolf's den, and you're gonna have wolves a barking. What can I say? At the same time, I'm not in the same room, so it really isn't that bad. It's somebody else's problem, whoever the hell she's barking at out the window. But our money flow here does have a decent little curvature. You know, if you take the mean average, if you will. But we very well could be coming to the downside, but not necessarily. I mean, it is definitely not for sure. Look at this. We're sideways right here. It's a good sign. You know, it could be that, you know, maybe this is only as far as we go, but still too soon to be making a judgment like that. Coming out on the 30. I remember it could be you know, could be some choppiness forming right here. Again, more bearish divergence showing up here. RSI peaking down, but we really haven't even been up here. I mean, we were still coming up all the way up to this point right here. So, you know, I'd like to see us, you know, maybe hang out up there a little bit longer, but it's been a pumpy kind of day, so I imagine a lot of people are looking a little short. You know, they're and that's what it comes down to in reality, is market psychology, because, you know, these candles, the price, it doesn't move on its own. You know, it's not magic. You don't have millions of people trying to guess what these candles are randomly going to do. So you got to keep in mind market psychology. And particularly on a day like today, everybody was probably super pumped that, you know, we had these nice little run-ups. And what we got, it's a little bit past midnight on the East Coast, almost there here. You know, people are probably thinking, you know, we've been up all day, it's time to come back down. And yeah, 19, it's looking pretty strong to the downside right now as it is. But let's see, let's do our fixed volume here. It's going to be real low if I start back here, so we'll pick up right there. Yeah, I mean, obviously most of it's to the downside. We got a little bit coming in this area, a little bit up here. I'd say this level on the fib is probably good enough for that. It's coming in the middle. You could almost say maybe it's a little bit above here if we were to draw like a range from the fib level to, want to go too far. So, yeah, I guess you could. So maybe in between here, you could almost have like a little rectangle of resistance. It's our next spot. You know, the previous high. You know, fits in line with that. And when I do resistance lines, I like to keep it, you know, not so prominent that, you know, things get cluttered up when you start getting real thick lines all over the place, not to mention with your fibs everywhere. So it looks like we're pretty much at that line right now. There's a little bit here, so I'll probably leave this fib retracement in because, you know, a lot of places are showing some confirmation at those levels. So I'll leave it there. That'll probably make up those levels. Let's see what we got. Anything going on with trend lines? Obviously, we got this guy down here, which hopefully we don't have to worry about. If I can get that damn candle. Come on. Jeez. Yeah, we could call it like that. Come back to the thicky, thick girl. All right. This guy right here, I don't even see a point in drawing anything on the top side right now because it's fairly parabolic. You know, I'm generally more looking to this area right here to see what we will be doing. And once we start forming, you know, something, if we come down here, you know, I doubt we're going to immediately come back up, but you never know. But if we come down to this golden pocket, you know, maybe do a little action like that. Or of course, there's the worst case that you're looking out down at this trend line right here. And let's head up to the daily. Let's see what's going on with the daily. Let's get a wide angle view since we started fairly close in. I am going to hide this guy on any of the higher charts. I'll leave that guy there. That doesn't really matter. Now, looking from over here, you could see, we could probably even trace this back further, but got a longer, stronger trend line right there. I mean, you could see some obvious places for support and resistance, but just for shits and giggles here, let's see, I'll go back that far. Keep in mind when you're doing these, you know, you're looking in an area around here, you know, where the recent price action's been. If you start drawing it, you know, including everything back here, you're going to have the bulk of your data down here where you really don't care about it at the moment. Because I mean, even right here, as you can tell, you know, most of the action's been in this range right in here. So what do we got? We got a level. That's interesting. So let's say right about there. Yeah, I think we could call it right about there. What we got going on up here? Actually, shit, exactly where the price is at right now once again. shoot for the high side of this one right here, because we got more recent action coming into that area. And part of this is, learning what tends to play out better. Because, obviously you have a bunch of candles right here. Do you pick the largest one? So let's say we did. Let's put this line in here. Let's make this white. Look in here. So that was the highest volume for this little range, this little peak right there. Let's see. All right, we had one wick go to there, a little bit past it on that one, past it. As far as trying to judge, where candles are going to go to, or where you could potentially like reverse that or anything like that, it's not terribly useful if it's not correlating with other things, which is why, I'd probably bring it like right there, which, to be honest, I'm gonna bump this one down just a wee little bit. As you can see, we got closes right there, or sorry, we got wicks right there, wicks right there, wicks right there. It shows a little bit more finality at that specific spot. Wick stopping there. Because if you're drawing a support level, it really doesn't do you any good if all the candles are coming, this far past it. And when it comes to trading, what are you going to use that for? Now, if you wanted to be, more accurate, you could, be doing like, your rectangles. Call it a range where you could see, okay, we get top of the range, bottom of the range, top of the range, within the range. Boils down to preference. Coming up here, let's see. We got a bit in this area. I'm going to call that up there. And what else do we have? Obviously, we've got these peaks. Nothing else really correlating, but I'll take the middle on that one. So that gives me some support resistance levels just to sneak a peek at. Now, let's say, why are we not? Oh, if we were to pull out a fib retracement, we got some correlation there, some correlation, all bunch of stuff right in this area. Current price, our dotted line, another fib level, a little bit of a gap in here. Again, a little bit of a gap in there, but this one's almost more of a range between the tops here and the tops there. And we do got a little bit going with this golden pocket right here. You got close there, top there, body's closing right there, another one right there. Tell you what, I like that better. You know what? Let's do this. Throw out a rectangle right there. No idea how I got on this color. Oh, because we were making it gold. Aha. I guess I'll leave it then. I'm going to go to the, I don't know, kind of between these candles. I'm going to throw it on the fib retracement. Just, I'll take that over my random guesswork. All right. Leave it at that. Get that guy off the screen. Come back down to the 30. Let's see anything line up with our previous one. Eh. Nope, not too much. In the short term, we're getting different levels for sure. So that's what we're looking at. Again, got that bearish divergence. Let's pop over to Adam. Let's see what's going on with Adam real quick. Where's that blue line from? Well, that's been on there for quite some time, I guess. Man, I don't even draw blue lines like that anymore. That's got to be like a super old trend line, but look at that. That is very interesting. Kind of curious. Does it stay on the screen? Where's this coming from? Holy smokes. Well, look at that. Got ourselves a big pattern going here, but I almost hope it's not. But it doesn't really seem like it because this came through pretty easily, although we did come back. In a case like that, you know, it almost make more sense to say we got just a regular horizontal line because you can see we're hitting, came back. All right, Adam, what you doing on the 1 hour? Nothing too much. Gonna bump it back up to ETH real quick, 'cause I'm sure you care more about that one. I think we're gonna extend this out. See what we're working with here. I'm actually half tempted to throw a different GAN box just in this like immediate short-term area. You know, we could see what it's doing on this longer term one with all that room in between, but I want to know what it's going to be doing sooner. Honestly, the fib's not telling us much. I'm going to ditch it. We'll make a new one. But that's what's going on with everything. Oh. I skipped the important stuff. So, as you can see down here on the MCB, money flow just came down into the red. Momentum wave kind of down. VWAP coming back up a little bit. But RSI is coming down, you know, between that, the money flow, the momentum. It's looking more downy than the fabric softener in your utility room. Yeah, money flow. You know, comparatively, like you look at this one over here, it was a little weak, even though we had just that nice bit of volume going on there for a little while. Doesn't quite compare to the red money flow we had. Overall, you know, I have to say, like the macro market trend still fairly bearish. Looking at this higher low, so that doesn't really say much. We never did beat this previous high over there. That kind of invalidated a little bit. Move this down here and hope we hold it. Hold the line. Hold the line. Diamond hands. Uh-huh. You know, a diamond hands gets you right. Gets your friggin' fingers cut up. You're gonna be bleeding with all them red candles. But at the same time, you know, there is a big debate to be had between hodling / investing and trading. I should probably do this video on that alone. I still hear people kind of mixing the two, especially new people. And particularly back when everybody was going on Wall Street bets. What do we got going here? You know, not super crazy, but yeah, still got that bullish divergence here on the 6 hour. Now, seeing something like that makes you feel bullish in the little bit longer term. You know, it'd be nice to see that guy coming off right there. Let's see, what's this money flow doing? It's going sideways. It's looking like we're rolling over. Yeah, I can see a couple little humps in there. A couple camel humps coming. Damn it. 11, 14. Yeah, looking fairly bullish there still, although we definitely have some breathing room before we get up above that previous candle. We got like a half hour left on this candle, so yeah, we'll see. And we are generally trending up with the RSI and the VWAP. You know, momentum wave, plenty of room to the upside. You can kind of see, here's another thing that you don't often pay attention to. On this leading momentum wave, had this sharp kind of V-shaped push back to the upside. And it hasn't even really started clipping yet. You know, if we were to see it come down a little bit, you could get, you know, like a tighter version of this going. But the lagging momentum wave is looking like we'll have a nice little rollover back up. But first, that money flow has to start angling up. Like, it's one of those things where I want to be bullish about it. But if this guy, like, if this changes a little bit, because, you know, we are lower right here. If we continue off with another small little candle, and if that guy's not heading back up, well, then I'm not going to be super bullish about it. At that point, you know, I start looking like, I can't even say it's like that. You know, like this a little bit. None of these are really a prime example. You know, this would be nice right here. We have that, you know, pump up, chill out for a little bit, grab another one. Let's see, what's traditional doing? I mean, obviously it's closed right now, but, you know, ended to the upside a little bit. Didn't really retake this previous high either. Money flow did start increasing on that one, though. Let's check out total crypto market cap. Let's check the daily. Looks like we're starting to make a turn. See how we got like this little jaggedness going on right there with the leading momentum wave. You know, that's this little zigzagging in here. VWAP about to cross over, like shit, any second now at this point. What do we got? Negative 0.13. We are basically on the zero line, so that could be looking good. Come to the upside. Yeah, again, kind of zigzagging through here. Still high or low, so that's good, even though, you know, we're gonna have to overtake these two, which would be some good money on the way there if we do. I think regardless of, you know, what's going on the smaller time frames, and we definitely have room to the upside. And in a general sense, it'd be nice to see this, you know, roll back around and head back up. You know, while we're doing this, let's see, where are our spider lines? Come into the 1 hour. Well, would you look at that? Damn near bounced off of that one. Definitely found some resistance at that one. Oh, now we are officially into this little arc right here. And by the way, these little dotted lines are the spider lines. If you don't know what spider lines are, go watch the video that I made explaining how to draw them for yourself. It is certainly some information you want to know. Something you're going to want to draw on at least one of your Bitcoin charts. Yeah, look at that. Supported off of that one. Hung out around that one for a while. Hung out around that one for a while. So yeah, you can see. Definitely something to play around with. Get good at drawing it. I like to throw them all into one folder so I can just hide or show them as necessary. But I think that's going to be it. I kind of prattled on long enough just on a few little charts here. Kind of took you through, you know, what I would be looking at when I'm actually looking over the charts, trying to see what's going on. Speaking of, ooh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, you know, I added a bunch more stuff in here on the watch list. Haven't started filling too many of them up. You know, here's a little sneak peek right here that I'll give you. I was going to do a video on here before too long. Just some of these indices that we got on here. Now look at this guy. Hold on. I'm going to go up to the weekly for the M1 money supply. To say that the money flow was increasing does not possibly get any more literal than this chart right here. And you look, man, just we got April 2020 since COVID. I mean, it's just not even comparable. You know, money supply just whoop. Come down here, we got the M2. A little bit more realistic in my opinion, but we'll get into the differences there later. But bam, just went parabolic. You know, if we can only see this on a Bitcoin chart, we'd all be rich. Then you got this guy. It's kind of my favorite. It's the M2 money stock real, or the real M2. No, it's it just seems like it has a little bit more definition to it. Now, the interesting part, we are starting to roll over a little bit. You know, they haven't been introducing any new multi-trillion-dollar spending bills. Then you got the velocity of money. I'll get into an explanation of that one when we do it. Inflation expectations. Now, obviously, you can't come down below the daily chart because it's not something that's traded. You can't, like, they just don't have the data. But inflation expectations. Look at this. Just craziness. You know, even through here, even through the beginning of COVID, wasn't too terrible. But as soon as Sleepy took office, jeez. Man, speaking of, dude, I just went to the grocery store today, and if you're still watching this, hey, let me know in the comments, how are things at your grocery store? Is it like, are the shelves empty in certain places? Or, you know, when I went, it was better than I expected. You know, nobody's really panic buying, at least, you know, here in the US. Around me, I can't say about other places, but there has been like certain items that have just been short for like a year now. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. Like what they call that, the waffle fries that I like to get by Alexia. I found them one time in like 6 months, so I bought 2 bags, and I'm almost out of them. Kind of salty. This is my usual grocery store this time. All they had was the regular plain Jane French fries, which, and like the sweet potato, like tater tots and sweet potato fries, which clearly not that many people are buying because there's always a good supply of those. But, you know, show's coming down a little bit. Hopefully that's the case. But this is saying, you know, end of December to now, inflation expectation has been coming down. I don't know. I would argue that point, that if anything, maybe the expectation's going down because actual inflation is going up. So people are like, hey, there's the inflation that we've been expecting this entire time. But honestly, I do not see it ending yet. It's just ridiculous. US GDP, gross domestic product. There's your COVID dip. Consumer price index. I don't put very much stock into this one. Very much faith into this one because, you know, if you look at the metrics they're using like this weighted index of various items, and they come out and say, oh, you know, inflation's 7.5%. I'm like, you know what? Tell me one freaking product that has only gone up 7%. I'll wait. Yeah, and then they try to say that, oh, well, you know, inflation's not necessarily a bad thing because wages go up. Once again, I don't know a single person whose wages get constantly adjusted for inflation. I mean, it's not like at this point people aren't getting a raise every 3 to 6 months every time inflation continues to rise prices for everything. I mean, I know Congress got a raise not too long ago, so maybe they're just talking about themselves, because let's face it, they don't really give a damn about us. Core CPI, as you can see, a little bit different, a little bit more realistic, I'd imagine. Then you got producer price index by commodity. all commodities. Again, just terrible. Just skyrocketing. Industrial production, which, you know, obviously COVID had the big dip. And then we took a little bit getting back to it. But, you know, this was basically just businesses closed, gradually reopening. Still not back to our pre-COVID levels yet. But at least it's not, you know, down in the dumps, I suppose. Hey, at least I got a job. That's, you know. And if you got a job, congratulations. Keep it. Because if you are trading, you are going to want that income not only to, you know, pay the bills, but especially if you're a beginner in trading, if you're new at it, don't quit your day job just yet. You know, so many people I hear from talk about how, you know, it took years before they really got good at it, got into the swing of things, stopped losing money and making stupid decisions. Consumer sentiment. I would tend to agree with that. It is in the toilet. But that's just this little list of indices that are on TradingView that I was looking at. And then these are just different indexes. Let's see what's up with gold. Look at gold. Had a big old spike right there. What is this? Yesterday? Dollar index. Shocker. Although technically this is saying that I believe when the number's up higher that it is doing better, that it's closer to its, you know, full worth. That's debatable. If that's the case, I forget. It's been a long time. S&P 500, big old candle down. NASDAQ. Looking about the same, really. Dow Jones. Looking ugly. Let's see what's up with the Hang Seng here. Oof. We got 7.6. Go all the way to the top. 9.8. What's this box over here? Oh. Yeah, maybe I'll touch it. You know what? It's the end of the video. Nobody's probably watching. Take a look here. So, just out of curiosity, I went through on the Dow and marked off the various presidential terms. And what do you know? We got... Oh, wait. Oh, this needs adjusting now. Hold on. Hold on. Oof. Old Sleepy Joe's just crunching the gap. 3.4%. 3.4% from the beginning to current with the Biden administration. Trump administration, about 96% up. Obama, 28%. Not all that great. I mean, this is the only one that's really, you know, was pumping, came in off that momentum and just rolled it over. Now we're heading down. Where were we at here? Obama, Bush, 20%. Now, don't pay attention to the negative. I drew it from like here to the backside, but not terrible. 70% for Clinton. He's got, you know, the second best market. It's just something I was playing around with here. I got to update this Bybit. Man, Bybit's been adding so many pairs. I honestly haven't even looked through them. I got my little list that I keep up at the top of the exchange page, and I keep seeing little notifications and messages saying, we just added this and this and this. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what the hell those are. Like, you keep adding all this, like, obscure little shit coins that got no idea what the heck they are. But, oh, look at that. Hold up. Oh, dude, what did I do? Look at that. We had this trend line coming off, which really just ended up kind of cutting through the middle, but coming back to it. Not that I'm huge on the Dow. I don't trade it, but you know, I have plenty of financial instruments that are in that group, in that category. But all right, I'm gonna cut it. I rambled on long enough. 50 minutes. It was fun hanging out with you guys. Dude, honestly, I'm looking forward to when we can do some live streams, hang out, interact a little bit. You know, it'd be nice to talk to you guys while we're doing this. I mean, I could do the live streams now, but you know, there's only what, 50 subscribers, which, hey, by the way, thank you. Awesome. But you know, I hate to do a live stream, especially at a time of day when don't necessarily get a lot of traffic in the evening like right now. So we'll figure something out. We'll get it eventually. Even if we bubble slow, we'll get it eventually. But I hope everybody has a great and safe and prosperous day tomorrow. And again, if you're hearing them shots fired, keep your head down. Later.